What does it mean to be truly free? If you ask the two most iconic protagonists in modern anime, you will get the exact same word, but two entirely different universes of meaning. Monkey D. Luffy and Eren Yeager. At first glance, they are miles apart. One is a great pirate made of rubber sailing a cartoonish, vibrant world. The other is a traumatized soldier fighting a grim geopolitical war for survival. Yet they are both sides of the same exact coin. Let me elaborate. When it comes to freedom, they are both completely uncompromising absolutists. To understand the contrast, we have to define their philosophies. For Monkey D. Luffy, freedom is experimental and relational. Luffy doesn't view freedom as the absence of rules. He views it as the active choice to ignore them. His philosophical baseline is rooted in joy. He doesn't want to rule the world. He just wants the world to be a giant playground where he and his friend can eat, drink, and explore without a king telling them no.
敵も強い。君にこの強固な海を支配できるか？
支配なんかしねえよ。この海で一番自由なやつが海賊王だ。
Because of this, Luffy is the ultimate soldier of freedom. He liberates people almost by accident. He doesn't carry the ideological burden of a savior. If you give Luffy food, he will consider you his friend, and if you are his friend, your enemies will become his enemies. He dismantles tyrannical systems, hands the keys back to the people, and just smoothly sails away. Haki literally translates to willpower. His freedom is his ability to impose his boundless imagination onto reality. It is no coincidence that his peak form, sun god Nika, is the warrior of liberation. His body is rubber. Psychologically and physically, Luffy cannot be contained, bent, or broken by the geometry of this world. Then we have Eren Yeager. If Luffy's freedom is a playground, Eren's freedom is the destination, and it is entirely exclusionary. To Eren, freedom is the absence of enemies. He was born into a cage, and his psychological core isn't joy, it's rage. The tragedy of Eren Yeager is the irony of his power. He possesses the Attack Titan, a power that moves ever forward, seeking freedom, but because it allows him to see the memories of future inheritors, Eren becomes trapped by determinism. This is the crux of why Eren is a slave to freedom. He is the only character in his universe who cannot change his own path. He's pushed forward by the future he already saw himself create. He doesn't make choices, he fulfills prophecies. He becomes a martyr, taking the sins of the world onto his own shoulder, entering a psychological prison so his friends don't have to. Eren's definition of freedom required the world to match the empty, pristine plains he saw in Armin's book. When the real world had people in it, people who hated him, he couldn't accept it. In his mind, to be free, he had to wipe the canvas clean. When you put them side by side, the psychological parallels are staggering. Just look at their eyes. Luffy lives entirely in the present. He refuses to know what the One Piece is because knowing the future ruins the adventure. And contrary, Eren is crushed by the future, dragging himself through hell just to reach that scenery. When Eren finally achieves that scenery, soaring above the clouds of the rumbling, he reverts to a child. It is a terrifying psychological break. He has to dissociate from the slaughter below him to feel the wind. He's chained to the ribcage of a monster, trapped in the sky. Meanwhile, when Luffy reaches his peak, he brings laughter, he turns the ground to rubber, he turns his enemy into jump ropes. He embraces the absolutity of the world rather than destroying it. To truly understand why these two are the same coin, we have to look at the moments they finally touch the freedom they were chasing. When Luffy reaches the peak of his power, he becomes the sun god Nika. His ultimate expression of freedom is joy. He finds the world and its history hilarious. He laughs because to him, freedom is the ability to turn tragedy into a comedy. Contrasting this with Eren's freedom scene, while Luffy is more present than ever, Eren has to dissociate. To feel free, Eren has to revert to a child and ignore the red gore beneath the clouds. Luffy's freedom is an embrace of reality. Eren's freedom is an escape from it. One finds the world beautiful because it's a mess. The other finds it beautiful only when it's empty. This is reflected in their very nature. For example, Luffy is elastic. He is adaptable. If a plan fails, he laughs and tries something else. He doesn't care about fate. He is magnetic, drawing people towards him because his freedom is infectious. Eren, however, is rigid. He is the attack titan that only moves in one direction. While Luffy's freedom creates a crew of nakama, Eren's pursuit of freedom creates isolation. He pushes his loved ones away, hurts them and lies to them. All this to achieve a goal they never asked for in the first place. On the other hand, Luffy frees people by being with them. Eren tries to free people by leaving them behind in a graveyard. Lastly, looking at the words, Luffy's dialogue is almost always centered on desire. I want to be the pirate king. I want to eat meat. Eren's dialogue shifts from I want to a haunting I had to. In the finale episode of Attack on Titan, he tells Armin, I don't know why, but I wanted to do it. I had to. He's a slave to an impulse he can't even fully explain. Luffy's path is a choice he makes every morning. Eren's path is a script he's been forced to read since the day he was born. If you put Luffy in Eren's world, he would likely punch the walls down and throw a buffet party. If you put Eren in Luffy's world, he would see the world government and decide the only way to be free is to sink the entire ocean. They are both soldiers in the war against destiny. But Luffy won because he realized that freedom is a journey that you take with others. Eren lost because he believed freedom was the only destination you can reach alone. At the end of the day, Monkey D. Luffy and Eren Yeager are both boys who looked at the horizon and refused to let anyone tell them they couldn't cross it. Their psyche determined their fates. Luffy fights so that the world can be free. Eren fought because he realized he was the only thing standing in the way of his own freedom. Luffy is the man who found the key to the cage. Eren is the man who realized he was the lock. Luffy is a soldier of freedom because he protects the concept of freedom for everyone. He fights for the right of a princess to cry, a chef to cook, and a doctor to heal. Eren is a slave of freedom because he treats freedom like a commodity. He thinks it's something you can buy if you pay high enough price in blood. But the tragedy of his character is that the price is always higher than the reward. By the time he reaches the outside world, he is too broken to actually live in it. So this was it for the video, guys. Kaisa laga video, guys? Please like and subscribe to the channel if you want more videos like this. I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.